But this is the section of the show where I'm going to try to tie it all together. I'm going to try to say, hey, this is what it all means. This is how we can try to move forward from this. Because I'm sure at some point, and maybe this is the show, or maybe it's been passed already. People are going to be sick about talking about this. But one of the things that I am going to tell people is no matter what side you're on of this issue, do you practice what you preach at home in addition to what you preach online? What do I mean by that? Do you confront your peers if you perceive that they're having unprofessional behavior? Do you do that in your own hospital? Everybody in our hospital or in your office or somewhere have somebody who's kind of difficult to work with. Do you confront them? Do you call them out? Do you write them up? Or do you tolerate it? What if your position on this issue is that this person was bullied? It is wrong for this person to be bullied. Put the mirror up to yourself. Do you stand up for people who are bullied at work? Do you stand up for people who are bullied in your community, at home? Do you practice what you preach on social media? I'm not the one to judge. You're the only one who can judge that. You're the only one who can judge if you're a hypocrite or not on this. About an hour before this broadcast, I saw a post from National Public Radio, npr.org, May 25, 2011. The title, "Doctors Behaving Badly. They Say It Happens All the Time." The first paragraph goes like this. If results from a national survey to be believed, more than 2 in 3 U.S. doctors witness other physicians disrupting patient care or collegial relationships at least once a month. More than 1 in 10 say they see it every day. If you're a physician, do you do that? I don't know. Do you put up with it? And it is a good point in this chat room that they're bringing up here. If you bring it up, yeah, okay, probably you should bring it up in private. Probably you shouldn't put it on the, on the board in the physician's lounge. Probably not. So do you practice what you preach? That's the first thing. The second thing, kind of a take-home point that I'd put out there. Why not take this energy and emotion that I have seen over the past 3 or 4 days and apply it to bigger picture type things? I saw on the 33 Charts post somebody who calls themselves Shim Code. And the comment goes like this: "Man, I wish my doc spent as much time, quote, seeing me as some of you doctors have spent on this topic." That's a pretty good point, actually. Everyone agrees that social media is great for patient education. Take that energy and emotion and do a great patient education piece. If your position on this issue is that the patient is the center of all this, when was the last time you contacted your legislator about a patient-centered issue? If your position is that you're defending somebody from being bullied, when was the last time you contacted your legislator about bullying legislation? We all agree that people and organizations are out there against doctors, against medicine, they're probably laughing at us right now, seeing this infighting that we're having. I hope people take some of this energy, some of this emotion, and channel it towards other things that they're doing, the things that they think are important, whether it's patient-centered, whether it's, battling bullies or against bullying, whatever your position is on this issue. I hope that comes out of this. And my final point on this show is, how is the medical Twittersphere and blogosphere going to move on from this discussion? Because we're all going to move on from this. I mean, who is really the big winner in all this? The big winner in all this are those who present about medicine and social media, those who lecture about it. I even saw a lecture on YouTube today about this particular issue. Those are the people who are the real winners in this deal. And unfortunately, this case, unfortunately, will be another reason why physicians will be hesitant to enter social media. And I think that's pretty sad. There have been some posts in the past couple of days trying to wind this up. Kevin MD had a pretty good post today, how doctors should professionally behave on Twitter. Kind of a balanced type of post. Another thing, moving meat, the shadow facts. A way to kind of wind this up too is posting my guidelines for blogging about clinical medicine. And if people are kind of wondering what their own gauge is, I encourage people to post what their own guidelines for blogging and for Twittering are. That would be kind of interesting to see. Maybe we can have a discussion about that. But when it really comes down to it, we're still on the same team, right? At least I hope so. Because too often I've seen in real life and in social media life, people carry grudges out there. Or people playing revenge. Or people do all this petty type of stuff. Drama. I know this is my little Rodney King type of can't we all just get along type of moment. But really, when you think about it, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, what are we really going to remember from all this? Are people going to forget about this next week? Are people going to just carry around all of their type of hurt emotions from this? Is this really the community just kind of breaking apart on this issue? I hope not. Because when it comes down to it, I do think we are on the same team. I do think we have these little internal discussions. I think these internal discussions are good. I think these internal discussions help the community try to sort things out on our own. And I think this is a good way of doing that. So I hope in the end that we can agree to disagree about certain things and really remember that what we all have in common is a lot more than how we are different. And I hope that we could all just kind of put a period on it and said, hey, I have said what I need to say. We can agree to disagree. But I think the community needs to move on from this, because we have other work to do.